All right, so we're here after a training, a little gym session, some pulling and stuff. Sam's getting ready for WAL Finals, and we figured, yes sir, since everybody does prediction videos and stuff, we might as well go ahead and give our own while we're at it. So let's go ahead and start with. I know there's a couple new competitors here and some people that we don't know a ton about. So let's go ahead and start with the Wagner Bortolato match and Devin Larratt. What do you guys think? What do you know?
I would say the Brazilian dude has one of the baddest presses, like off-the-go hits. He just crushes people. I know he went through Michael Todd, and it was like Michael Todd couldn't even slow him down, like not at all. And so, you know, Devin's easy. He can either arm wrestle way out or, you know, get in his hook. I feel like if he doesn't, if he stops him way out, the Brazilian's just going to press right through him. But if Devin gets in his hook, I think can match that dude's arm all day. Just because if he gets in his press, it's a lot stronger than his bicep. So I feel Devin's going to figure that one out.
The only thing is a variable, does Devin have a King's move left arm? Is this Brazilian even familiar with the King's move? That's the thing, is he familiar with the WAL setup? We've seen every competitor that came in the WAL series unfamiliar with the WAL setup get trumped, like Hermes Gasparini. Very dominant force, right. Came in unfamiliar with the WAL setup, and that completely, you know, I don't want to say, I still think Matt could have came out on top and probably would have, but it just, you could see that it created more of a gap there. So right. I think it obviously favors Devin, just the fact that this is this guy's first WAL match, and I mean, left arm, I don't know enough about this Brazilian to even, you know, give a very good prediction on him, but I just feel that, you know, with it being his first WAL match and Devin potentially having a good King's move left arm and this guy not really, right. You know, being familiar with the King's move, I would say it favors Devin. He might get one match on Devin, but I think Devin just has too many tools and he's going to adjust, and I'm going to go Devin 3-1.
Right, and I think the big thing is too, when's the last time this guy pulled?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I haven't really tracked him. I did a little Google research and stuff, and I don't know a whole lot. I did see the Michael Todd match, and that's Michael Todd's all farm. I know he likes to say it's not good, but it's definitely good.
Yeah.
But it's just hard to say. I mean, I know Devin's less healthy, as far as we know, right? Ever since the Saplinkov match, and I imagine he's chomping at the bit as far as coming back with a win. So I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think overall? I mean, I can't see it going any other way than 3-0 Devin, but maybe that's just because that's the guy I know more about.
I'm going to go 3-1 just because that dude's bad enough that he could sneak a win on Devin. If Devin actually loses, it's because like he got so much more to work with. The rules on his side. He's got, you know, this dude got a press. That's it. So like I don't see Devin losing, but I'll go 3-1.
I'm saying 3-1 Devin, because I think, you know, Devin might either test the water somewhere, you know, get shocked setting up, you know, a little weird trying to test something.
So what about the ladies match? We got Sarah Rotunda and Gabby from Brazil. Like I said, I don't know a whole ton. I've watched a lot of what Gabby does, and obviously follow with Artem's channel a lot of the training that Sarah does. I know Sarah's a total powerhouse. Got to see her pull a couple times live, but it's just so hard to gauge the difference, especially internationally with Gabby. But I have heard a lot of people talk about Gabby being a heavy favorite, so I'm not sure really what that's based off of, other than the recent success that she's had. So what do you guys think?
For me, definitely both of the baddest females on the planet.
Right.
I would say give Sarah like the technique advantage. She actually has experience in WAL, faster, I would say.
Right.
But then the Brazilian, what's her name?
Gabby.
Gabby, definitely super strong. I watched her like on Instagram, just stupid lifts and stuff like that.
Right.
So definitely, you got like arm to arm. It could definitely be hers. But you know, she's got the knowledge, she's got the skill to make it a match, and if she finds an opening, she can hit it every time. Right. So
Gabby's been more active in recent years.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know how active Sarah's been over the past few years. I know
she trains. I mean, I see a lot of Facebook stuff, and Artem's over there training. So she trains hard, and she trains with guys, and she's got a nice setup, you know, and she's super strong. I know she's remained active as far as training in the past year heavily. So, and I don't know currently where she's at competition-wise, but like I said, I track pretty closely, and she's definitely training hard for sure.
Wasn't there a previous super match between those two? I'm
I
not.
don't know.
I thought there was, wasn't there?
I did hear that. I don't even know the results, but I think Gabby lost. But
Yeah, I don't know either.
for sure.
Right. So what do you think?
It's gonna be more of a guess in the dark, but I'm gonna go Sarah 3-2. I think it's gonna be close.
I like the 3-2. Yeah, I like the 3-2. I think I'm just going off of what I've been hearing and things like that. I think 3-2 is going to be the final, but I'm going with Gabby because I think just from what I'm hearing, hearsay and rumors and everything, is that she's on top of her game. I'm gonna be rooting for Sarah, but I think it winds up 3-2 Gabby. I think she's just too strong right now.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna side with go Sarah just because I seen what she did to the Canadian a while back. Trained or not, she's so skilled. She just needs 6 months or a year, and she can mix it up with the best.
Right.
So I go Sarah 3-2.
All right. So the next match would be for the Hammer, and that's Justin Bishop versus Rob Bishop Jr. What are your thoughts here? Right, a lot to weigh in, right, Storm?
Yeah, I have my thoughts on it.
Lucky Bishop.
So, I know probably Rob. I mean, probably better than most of the other middleweight competitors. And I know when Rob shows up on top of his game, he's strong. He's got every tool just genetically. He's very genetically gifted. And the only way, Bishop, he's always on social media. He shows he's, training and stuff, but I just still feel that there's gaps in there. I heard Bishop was supposedly battling an elbow injury and stuff, last year. But I'm just going off of results. I still don't think Bishop has a very, sizable win on, me, Sil, Artulier, and no history battling Rob. Where Rob, he's been mixing it up in the middleweight with top tier guys and even light heavyweight guys. So I hate that even, I don't want to say that Bishop has no chance or anything of that sort, because RVJ might not even take this match serious, because even speaking with RVJ, he has a hard time motivating himself to train sometimes. But I just feel that, with RVJ's tools, and Bishop has a very strong hand, without a doubt. But I almost see the match 3-0 RVJ if they both show up in their best condition. Bishop, if maybe his elbow is healthy or something, and he's coming in as a different person.
He looked great against Solaris.
But Solaris is another one. He shows up sometimes as a very dominant force, and sometimes he shows up, in a condition where he's not, optimally trained. But I just think there's gaps in that middleweight class.
Right.
And, yeah, Justin Bishop has wins on, a lot of other middleweights, but I just think, he hasn't proven himself against the top tier middleweight.
Right.
It's kind of, you can kind of look at the class and see where, top tier kind of guys, tend to go, in tournament style, and I just see RVJ 3-0 in him.
Right. This is obviously the class that I track the most, but I have no experience with Justin, so I can't speak on anything other than what I'm seeing almost from a fan perspective. I thought he did look absolutely dominant against Solaris. And Solaris has a large hand, and you would know, Storm, what is Solaris' hand size? How does it compare to Rob's?
So I think Rob's hand, he has longer fingers.
Okay.
Mike Solaris has, I swear, it's width here, and his thumb, I think, goes back.
Right.
It's like, dude, when you grip his hand, you almost remember Mike's hand, just the way his thumb is.
Right.
Completely different than any other middleweight. And I do think Bishop has, a very decent cup, but I just pulling RVJ and pulling him both, the strength there's a difference there in strength.
Right.
And Bishop, I think, is more intelligent when it comes to strap setup stuff.
Right.
Because RVJ is getting smarter, but I see Bishop as a very tricky, intelligent arm wrestler to a certain extent. But RVJ's strength, I think, is just too much of a gap for him.
Right.
Just look at the size and stature. You look at RVJ, he's, a top size middleweight, and then you look at Bishop, he's kind of the smaller tier middleweight, which...
Right.
Yeah.
He's a lightweight. No. No, as far as for Bishop, I will, good luck. I wish you the best. he's up against a big boy, and it's a whole different world. And yeah, good luck. It's gonna be tough.
Right.
I'll go be nice and say 3-1 for Rob, but 3-0 is not a shot for me.
Right. I actually think if Justin's on top of his game, which I have a feeling he's going to be totally on top of his game, like Storm said, it really comes down to how serious is Rob taking this, and it's been a long time since he's pulled. I know, I talk to him fairly regularly, text-wise and stuff, and I do feel confident that he is taking it serious. Is what makes it kind of a scary match. I know there's a couple names up for this potential match, and I think Rob kind of knew that, and Rob was training for multiple different people. So I think that kind of kept him motivated to not knowing. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I do think Justin could potentially sneak one out, especially if it's based on strap setup, and just basically probably just a more unorthodox approach than what Rob's been facing lately. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say 3-1. I can't help but root for the underdog a little bit, but I think it's 3-1 or 3-0 most likely to Rob.
Yeah.
And the next match is Jerry Catterat and Michael Todd. We get to see this again. Obviously, you know how that turned out last time. It was probably one of the most amazing matches ever.
It was very memorable.
Right.
Very historic match.
So the big question is who is in top form? I talked to Michael quite a bit, and I've been really tracking his YouTube channel and the stuff he's doing. His workouts are absolutely insane, off the charts. The blood flow restriction stuff that I dabbled in, and the weights that he's using with that is incredible. He looks physically probably the best that I've seen in the past 3 years. And the flip side to that is everything that I've been hearing up north and everything too is that Jerry has been dedicated training for this match. And Jerry's a total powerhouse. You hear about his bench press numbers and that straight sideways pressure, and the fact that neither of these guys have any quit in them at all. It just feels like it's billing itself for like a 12-round slugfest.
Yeah, the thing I see is Michael Todd versus Dave Chafee. Michael Todd did not look one bit uncomfortable. I mean, it's a King's move. He sat there though, and I mean, we know how much horsepower Dave has. And I mean, just looking at their previous match, you don't know where both of them progressed because it's really hard for us to gauge. I mean, Michael Todd looked, every bit as the best we've ever seen. I mean, Jerry versus Todd Hutchings. I mean, Jerry obviously, went through there, pretty dominantly. There was some spots where he looked, not as good. But, I mean, I see he got injured or something, too. I don't know how serious the injury was. It was just
right.
a bruise
a lot
or
of
if it was a
bruising,
tear.
some blood pooling in the forearm. I don't know. I mean, it looked, because of all the blood pooling, it leads to believe that it was maybe like a muscle tear, like a little blood underneath the skin. So if it is a muscle tear, he's got time to heal up. If it's not at the tendon origin or anything like that, he should be all right.
I don't feel this is going to be a 3-0 match either way. I feel Jerry's going to get. I feel they're both going to get. I feel Jerry's going to probably get the first win, right, maybe even the second win. But I still think, there's going to be wins on both sides. I almost feel it might be a 3-2 Michael Todd, but I don't feel confident giving that prediction if Jerry's as strong as we're hearing.
Right. He
might come in and win it, but I think there's going to be, a war either way, because
right,
we've seen what Jerry's endurance is, and
these dudes are big enough to break bones. That's what happened last time. I mean, if the injury was to happen like that again, it's either guy's game. Like, say Jerry tears something in there, so it's.
Right.
I think Jerry is very, I want to even say there's a favorite either side. I say it's an even matchup. You could literally,
Right.
I mean, you could.
But the interesting part about it is there's motivation on both sides, because Jerry has the previous win.
Yep.
So Michael Todd has the revenge factor in his favor. So he's going to train super hard to come back with the W. But Jerry also has the motivation of the last match not being a hammer match, and this being the opportunity to get the hammer. So it's almost like offsetting momentum. So that's what makes it so tricky, and Sam makes a good point. This is the type of match that could actually come down to in-match injury to decide it. Just because of the amount of pressure being applied is unbelievable. And then you take into account the pad sizes with WAL. You have a flop wrist press or a dead wrist press with an extra inch on the front of that pad. Jerry has more room to work. But the converse to that is Michael also has more room to work off the back of the pad. And I think that's kind of what's set up for that slobber knocker that we saw last time. I think if it's 7x7 pads, there's less real estate for either of the guys, and it may actually, it may have a bearing on what we saw last time. So with the 7-inch pads, I mean, I think, like you said, it's going to be a war regardless. And even if the match wound up being 3-0, it's going to be the longest, most grueling 3-0 match ever.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never seen like Michael Todd has a big heart, man.
Yes.
Jerry's got to match it all day. Like I was so impressed with Jerry. Like there last time in there, like his tongue was sticking out. You thought he was about to keel over, but he
pulled it off.
Yeah.
I don't know, much about Jerry's training, but when you see Michael Todd's training, he gives every session 110% that you see on there. So I have a lot of respect for, we all train hard, so you could appreciate when you see someone train, equally as hard, or, given that they're 100%.
Right. It's almost like that perfect matchup stylistically too. A lot of like the floppers press has gotten a lot of flack over time. Just as is this a legal move? Is this something we should be doing? Is it arm wrestling? And it's the same perspective of the King's move. Is this really a legal move? Like, what do people have pros and cons about it? But in reality, they are each other's antonyms. So to see them go against each other is almost kind of poetic. And for the Hammer this time, especially after the way things went. I think like when it comes to predictions, my gut says Michael Todd is in like the best shape of his life. And the guy is super inspiring, like his work ethic and what he puts into the stuff, and his lack of quit. Like both have that, but his lack of quit is unbelievable. My gut says that this is going to be a 3-1 match. I think Michael's very intelligent, and I think he's going to adjust. And I think he's going to win this 3-1, but I think we're going to be looking at about like 20 minutes of arm wrestling. 506 finals. Tony Kotowski versus Pennsylvania's own Sam Harris. Big weight gap there.
Tony Kotowski 3-0. Sam Harris isn't training hard enough. No.
So what do you think, Sam? I know there's been a lot of talk behind all this, and there's a little difference in weight and weight cuts and things involved. What's the backstory?
A lot of talk. Just little talk, there's like saying that the only reason why I have a hammer now, Tony's saying, is because he went up a class, he wasn't there. I know other people said I'm a third place guy, which is, it is what it is. That don't bother me, but I did place third, in 2016 where Tony did get first. So, that's a third, but in one of the baddest tournaments, or where he won and thinks that, he kind of just made himself, being one of the elite lightweights, on the planet that day. Well, I placed third there, so it's not like I'm not, haven't been there the last 3 years, and I've come a long, long way since then. And I only have one loss since 2016 to a WAL guy in lightweight. So, and just, the game and how the rules are and everything, I just come a long way. My frames, weight, I walk around now in that weight division when I was, 160 a couple pounds, 3 years ago. So, and that's a huge factor. Everyone still calls me the little, little boy or whatever, but, that's my class. That's my, I'm there now.
Right. So you were walking into these 165 tournaments at about 160, whereas Tony, and especially the years he dominated, I think he came down from about 195. I know that was right when I got started. He looked absolutely enormous. And I mean, the guy nails the weight cut. It's unbelievable. I was even trying to pick his brain about it with the Doug Ehrlich match. At the weigh-ins, I thought he looked emaciated, and then he came out and performed so well. So I think that weight difference is the big thing there. Is he's making the same cut that he made, except for now you're walking in.
Well, I'm going to be making
8-10 pounds
cut
heavier
too this time.
Right.
See? So that actually is, it's going to play good for me. I don't want to walk in there weighing 165 and then see him go from 165 blow up to whatever he does as far as weight. I'll actually have weight to gain too, and I'll feel good about it.
Right.
So obviously Tony, he's a bigger lightweight. I know where Sam's training's been at. I know how hard he puts it in, and I see Tony as an intelligent individual, but I don't see him having all the separate avenues that Sam has. When you go arm wrestler to arm wrestler, Obviously, Sam has many more tools he could utilize. You go raw power to raw power. Obviously, Tony's a bigger individual, and I could see him having, in certain areas, more raw strength. But given the WAL setup and giving, Sam's table IQ, I think he's got a little bit more of an advantage there than Tony does. And I mean, obviously, I've witnessed Sam's training leading up to this match, and I without a doubt think he's ready. And I also think Sam's endurance is an advantage over Tony's. So I would give raw power to Tony, but in table IQ and endurance, I give it to Sam. I think this match is gonna, be a very well hyped up match, but I want to give it to Sam 3-1, just because I know where his training's at. Yeah, I know where Sam's training's at, and I do see Tony sneaking a win in there, but I think Sam is just gonna adjust. I mean, we saw him down, against Jeff Hale, and just the adjustments he's able to make on the go, and how he's able to, pick up on the little fine details, which I don't think. I know Tony's an intelligent individual, but I don't think he can pick up on the little details and adjust, quite like Sam can.
Right.
So I give it to Sam 3-1, because I think Tony will get a win on there somewhere, but Sam's just, I know where his strength's at. He's much bigger than he was in previous years, and I know where his strength is. He's gonna pull it off 3-1.
Right, and this is, obviously we train together and stuff. But as far as actual matches go, I've never pulled Tony. I have pulled Sam, and I have lost to Sam. Whether people know that or not, I don't know if it's on video, probably out there on Arm Wrestling TV somewhere or something. But yes, I have lost to Sam, and he's unbelievable. If you give him anything at all, he can negate size and strength like nobody else. So I mean, and you want to root for the hometown guy, or your training partner. But genuinely, after the past couple training sessions we've done, I just don't see how this goes any other way than a Sam win. It really comes down to, and I think Sam might be onto something, or Storm might be onto something. Like if you get sloppy at all, Sam, or if you get cocky at all, I think there could be troubled situations. But I feel like that would be something that would be totally in your control the whole time.
And I don't want to get into great technical detail, but there's certain areas where I think power favors Tony and power favors Sam. I'm not saying Tony is stronger in every angle or Sam's stronger in every angle. Because, I mean, if you really do a good analysis, you can kind of see where each guy's strengths or weaknesses are. But I just feel that, Sam has a very good grasp on where the match needs to go. And I'm sure as Tony does where he needs it to go.
Right.
But I just don't see, from a table IQ perspective, I don't see Tony accomplishing what he would probably want to do.
And there's 4 more weeks left to build that last little bit of horsepower too, to really widen that gap.
Yep, for both guys.
So we'll do our best to stay on top of that and ensure that. And Sam, I guess you're the last prediction. What's it going to be?
I think, first match is going to tell it, and right away I think everybody's going to know, like, they think I'm underneath Tony. I think when that first match happens, it'll go like that, and then it's 3-0. Like, if I get one match, he's done. I mean, he's going to have to give up, retry again, give up, retry. It's going to be good, and I'm going to be brutal. Brutal. For real.
Sounds good.
You going to make him pin himself?
Thinking about that one yet.
You heard it here first. Thanks for tuning in.